Fans, tonight is Youth Recognition Night for Robbinsville Volleyball. We've got 3 teams in Grant County this year, so we will make sure we give them the proper recognition. We're going to start with our first of 2 Robbinsville teams, Robbinsville Black. Representing Robbinsville Black, number 10, Parkland Anderson. Number 24, Kristen Allen. Number 20, Amaya Collins. Number 8, Tacey Bridges. Number 23, Cadence Welch. Number 7, Taylor Crane. Hey girls, face the crowd, don't face the name. There you go. So welcome to the top. There you go, right there. There you go. And number 5, Casely Lane. Head coach is Holly Jackson. Have one more hand for the Robbinsville Black. This is your future Lady Knights right here, guys. Never mind, we're going to go on. Okay, Robbinsville White. We got 2 Robbinsville teams. Let's make some noise for them. Zaylee Williams, number 40. Henry Rogers, number 10. McKenna Stewart, number 14. Lacey Chris, number 20. Darcy Moody, number 23. And David Chris, number 15. And once again, the coach, Holly Jackson. Is that a false sound? I'm not sure. Keep going, okay, keep going. Snowboard Warriors. Number 5, Adams. Number 12, Zachlyn Chickalilly. Number 12, Julia Beasley. Number 9, Zaylee Chickalilly. Number 11, Skylar Smokers, who's assisted by Carrie D. Wolf. All right, one more hand for snowboard at all, but youth volleyball players are in Grant County. Well, we're not done yet, sorry guys, one more quick recognition. And now, fans, we'd like to take a moment and give some special recognition to Robbinsville's head coach, Katie Phillips. Katie earned her 100th career win as the head coach of Robbinsville Varsity Volleyball last week and Swain. Katie took over the program in 2017 and all told has won 100 matches while at the helm. She's the 2012 graduate of Robbinsville High. Katie has the Lady Knights tradition in her blood and truly loves this sport. Tonight we present Katie with a commemorative collage of photos, each of which has captured special memories along the way. Katie, we want you to know that your efforts to bring volleyball back to prominence in Graham County have not gone unnoticed. Congratulations to a very special woman and a phenomenal coach, Katie Phillips, for winning 100 games in just 5.5 years as head coach. Lady Knights.
Well, fans, the action has been so hot tonight here in the Robbinsville High School Gymnasium that we've had not 1 but 2 times the fire alarm has went off. And at long last, it's about 20 minutes till 7 if you're watching this in the future. If you're live with us, we appreciate you sticking it out. We're about ready to start varsity volleyball tonight here in Robbinsville. Kevin Hensley and Montana Buchanan for you on tonight's telecast, and we appreciate you fans being with us. This is our first telecast in a 5-game-in-a-row span. Fans will be with you for 2 this week, 3 next week, and then it'll be time for the conference volleyball tournament And we'll still have football, of course, when we get to the postseason. But all of our home games are wrapping up here in Robbinsville over the next week or so. So we'll have, I believe if I'm doing my math right, we're going to have 5 telecasts for you fans here in the next 8 days on GramstarSports.com. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your support. And we'll be back here in about 5 or 10 minutes with the opening serve, introductions, national anthem, and a special treat later on. Stay with us on GramstarSports.com.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Robbinsville High School for tonight's Smoky Mountain Conference matchup between the Lady Knights and the visitors from Andrews, Lady Wildcats. At this time, if you would, please stand, kindly remove all headwear as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem. Number 2, Beth Shook. Number 4, Kylie Donaldson. Number 5, Taylor Jenkins. Number 6, Riley McDonald. Number 7, Americus LaGuire. Number 8, Addison Gartez. Number 9, Kinley Queen. Number 11, Hannah Talkington. Number 13, Hannah Queen. Number 14, Summer Garrett. Number 15, Carly Clark. And number 16, Allie Gibson. Andrews is coached by Shanna Muston. All right, let's hear it, fans. Your 12-6 Robbinsville Lady Knights. Number 14, a senior defensive specialist from Snowbird Road, Taya Owl. Other senior defensive specialist from Vancouver, Cherokee, number 22, Layla Welch. Starting tonight, junior outside hitter from Cynthia Lane, number 1, Delaney Bruce. Freshman libero from Swain County, number 2, Surrey Waddy. Sophomore middle hitter from Peak Sawyer Road, number 3, Claire Barlow. Senior outside hitter from the lower end of High Splendor, number 4, Kingsley Phillips. A sophomore right side hitter from Carpenter Hollow, number 8, Liz Carpenter. A junior middle hitter from Old Santila, number 16, Aubrey Wachacha. And last, a freshman center from Old Sweetwater, number 20, Olivia Lewis. Lady Knights are coached by Katie Phillips. She is assisted by Dee Bruce.
Robbinsville finally gets to come back home. It seems like they've been on the road forever and a day. It's been exactly 2 weeks since we've seen a conference matchup here in Graham County, and tonight Robbinsville begins its first of 3 here at home to close out the regular season, and they're all divisional matchups. Kevin Hensley and Montana Buchanan with you for tonight's telecast of Graham Star Sports right here in beautiful Robbinsville, North Carolina. Tonight's game is being sponsored by Blevins Insurance, our season-long partner in crime, located on Rodney Orr Bypass. You can give them a call for all of your insurance needs. A little bit of a different looking lineup tonight for Robbinsville. We'll talk about that in just a moment as Big Bag Carly Clark from the Andrews Lady Wildcats heads back to the line to serve once we make sure everybody's checked out on rotation. We're waiting on line judges, I believe. Not sure where they're at. And somebody from the JV has stepped up. So we're good to go. Opening set just about underway tonight here in Robbinsville. Carly Clark will fire a shot over the net. Received by Delaney Brooms, passed by Olivia Lewis, tip by Kinsley Phillips, and another tip by Claire Barlow. Give her a kill to start tonight's matchup. As we mentioned, a different looking lineup tonight for the Lady Knights. No Desta Trammell, that's right, the senior setter from East Buffalo, out with an illness tonight. So a promotion from junior varsity. You see Olivia Lewis, number 20. She'll be playing the role of setter here tonight. Returned by Brooms off the pass. And a hard shot in the middle by Riley McDonald will go in favor of Robbinsville. 2-0 your score. Push over the net by Kinley Queen. Pass by Lewis. Here comes Brooms with a hard smack. And that drops in as a no-doubter. Give Lewis the assist. And it's a kill, the first one tonight for the big junior outside hitter, Delaney Brooms. Marcus LaQuire with the reception. Queen sets Riley McDonald on the left side, but it's received by Kinsley Phillips. And a nice save again. There's Brooms with a hard smack.
Fans, we want to pause the match for just a moment and give some special recognition to one of the Lady Knights. Miss Kinsley Phillips has surpassed 1,000 digs for her career. Congratulations, Kins. That is a huge honor.
So Kinsley Phillips being recognized for her 1,000th career dig. She got that last week, as a matter of fact, at Cherokee, and just now getting to get back home tonight to get recognized. And give another kill to Brooms. That's 3 already here in the program. Robbinsville up 5-0 here in set 1, and Shanna Must is going to call a quick timeout and try and find out where Andrews is going to do to get back into it back in just a moment. Back with you live from Robbinsville High School. It's 5-0 Lady Knights here in set number 1. Kinsley Phillips with her second serve of the evening. Return attempt by Queen, blocked immediately by Barlow. And the Lady Knights will have to scramble. Another kill for Brooms, already with 4 tonight. Delaney Brooms, junior outside hitter, plays club ball all year round with the Excel program out of Hendersonville. Leads the team coming into tonight. She had 251 kills on the season. Tipped by Barlow. And that's going to make it 7-0 Lady Knights. Kinsley Phillips still serving. Right diving save on the back row by Beth Shook. Set by Lewis. There's the tip by Delaney Brooms. Riley McDonald not fooled that time, and her and Kinley Queen trade the ball back and forth, but the shot's out. 8-0 Robbinsville. Kinsley Phillips setting up camp at the service line. Hard shot. And a little bit of a miscommunication on the back row, but the Lady Wildcats keep it alive. However, blocked at the net. That's a huge play. Give props to Riley McDonald and Kinley Queen. Or excuse me, I apologize. That's Kylie Donaldson, excuse me. Kinley Queen to the service line. On the block, and Andrews on the board. It's 8-1 here in set one. Pass by Lewis, playing it safe. Returned by Barlow. Lewis got a promotion a little bit early in her career than she expected, I should say. She, of course, wants to be on varsity. Usually a junior varsity lady night. Getting a nod tonight with Trammell on the sidelines and convalescing. We'll hope to see Desta back next week. Returned by Kylie Donaldson. Phillips digs. Blocked again. Robbinsville struggles. Lewis will get the return. And Riley McDonald with a big smack. The southpaw mows it down. 8-2 here in set number one. Kinley Queen back to the service line again. As we mentioned, fans, this is our first of 5 telecasts we're bringing to you over the next 8 days, and that will actually close out the regular season home gamut for us. We won't be able to stream football at Andrews or Hayesville, which are the 2 final games of the year for the Black Knights. We'll, of course, be on hand for coverage on our social media platforms, but we won't be allowed to stream for varying reasons. We're not going to get into it. Looking forward to the games, however. And we'll be with you for the next 2 weeks for football. Tomorrow night, of course, Hall of Fame night against Cherokee here at home. And, of course, next week comes Murphy in what's always an emotionally charged, highly anticipated game. That'll be senior night for Robbinsville next Friday. The Lady Knights after tonight will have Hayesville for Pink Night on Tuesday. Join us for that one. And, of course, Thursday of next week will be the 8-5 here in set one. Kinley Queen to serve. Returned by Kinsley Phillips, greeted on the back row. And Andrews sneaking up here on Robbinsville. Allie Gibson and libero with that nice save, and Andrews gets a point. Fans, Robbinsville started this match on an 8-0 run, and now Andrews on a 6-0 sprint has almost got back into this one and tied it. But a service error by Kinley Queen will end the streak. It's Robbinsville ball, and freshman libero Surrey Waddy will go to the line. And a big block up front. Aubrey with Chacha and Delaney Brooms tag team in that one. Chacha had 8 blocks there tonight at Murphy. 4-set loss for the Lady Knights, who are now tied for first place in the conference standings with Lady Bulldogs and the Cherokee Lady Braves. That one's in. Delaney Brooms. And give an ace to Waddy, her first of the game, and the first one overall. And it's 12-6. And another one. Back-to-back aces. Waddy did the same thing there, not at Murphy. Back-to-back aces in the middle of that match. Lady Knights were a little stunned, I believe. However, by Murphy's persistence, could not get into a groove. Service errors also reared their ugly head, but that was then and this is now, and Robbinsville still in search of the conference championship. It'll be even more interesting if they win out, and so do the other 2 teams, because each of the teams have beat each other once. It's been unbelievable this season at the top of the rankings. Cherokee, perhaps the biggest surprise of the year. Of course, a very talented team playing club ball all year long. However, not usually a contender in the division until this season. It's all coming together for Cherokee. And nobody's going to be able to stop this streak of Surrey Waddy. It doesn't look like that's 3 aces here in this service. 16-6 is your score. And Shannon Mustin wants to get her Andrews Lady Wildcats refocused And we'll step aside while she does so here on GramstarSports.com. You can tilt it back down now a little bit, can't you? That's good. Live from Robbinsville High School, it is Smoky Mountain Conference volleyball action tonight here on the Gramstar YouTube page. Kevin Hensley and Montana Buchanan with you for tonight's telecast of Robbinsville Athletics as we set our first of 5 here in Graham County this week. We'll be bringing you streams Thursday, tonight, of course, Friday, next Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. And then we'll have, of course, postseason coverage for Lady Knights volleyball, so you'll want to tune in for that here on GramstarSports.com. 17-7 right now here in set 1 for Robbinsville. High set by LaQuire. Gets it back over. Shot. Another kill for Delaney Brooms. 18-7. And looks like we've got a substitution. That's going to be Liz Carpenter coming in as we're finally to the part in the rotation where Lewis would have to be up front. Or excuse me, on the back row, I beg your pardon. Taya Owl, who is tied with Delaney Brooms for the team lead in aces right now coming into tonight. Both have 36 this season. Queen sets. Here's Riley McDonald in the middle. And Waddy can't get under it. So bad. 18-8 here in set number 1. Good to have you with us on GramstarSports.com, your exclusive home for Robbinsville Athletics. And we are streaming it all season long. Service error for Miss Riley McDonald will quickly end her trip to the line. And you see Delaney Brooms Addison Dartez just checked in for Andrews. Big jump spike serve by Delaney Brooms. And Dartez gets a touch on the return. Al with a tip, and that's trouble. Lady Wildcats caught off guard. Carly Clark, Kylie Donaldson, and Beth Shook all trying to scramble, but can't get it done. We are in a late hour, of course, fans. If you're just tuning in with us, this is set 1. Normally, we'd already be about halfway through varsity at this point. But we've had some delays throughout the evening. Some interesting ones if you were here tonight in Robbinsville. The middle school match, of course, went to 3 sets. While that's not extremely rare, it was just a packed back-and-forth affair. And it took a little while to wrap up. Andrews eventually picked up the victory. Scores in that one were 20-25 Robbinsville, 25-16 Andrews, and 16-14 Andrews in the third set tiebreaker. And about midway through set number 1 of junior varsity action, somehow, not going to really speculate how, but you can probably speculate for yourself, the fire alarm was pulled. I'll just go ahead and say it. Fire alarm got pulled here at Robbinsville High School. And that's a no-no, obviously. But, of course, the match had to stop, and everyone had to evacuate the gym for probably a good 15 minutes. And, of course, we had some recognitions beforehand. If you tuned in time for that, you got to see our head coach, Katie Phillips, get recognized for her 100th career win, as well as the 3 youth volleyball teams in Graham County all be spotlighted as their season is now wrapped up. And, of course, Kinsley Phillips, over 1,000 career digs. That one flies out of bounds, and Aubrey Wachacha's at the line. with Robbinsville leading 22-9 here in set one. Been a long time, exactly a month, since Robbinsville and Andrews clashed in Cherokee County. September 6th, Robbinsville defeating the Lady Wildcats 25-3, 25-19, and 25-6. Lady Wildcats are trying to rebuild their program. Season only 2 wins on the docket after it's all been said and done. Hoping for some more, of course, down the stretch. Good athletes on the team. And Kylie Donaldson gets a kill for Andrews. 23-11 is your score here in set number one on GramStarSports.com. Stay with us, fans. We'll be giving out Montana Buchanan's Venmo information again if you want to contribute to her wisdom teeth removal just a few weeks ago. And she might need a car repair money now after the car repair went so badly, but that's the set point for the Lady Knights, and they're going to give it to sophomore Liz Carpenter for a rare trip back to the service line. Once it gets to back row action, Carpenter usually tags out with Taya Owl. But as we said, a different lineup tonight with Desta Trammell unable to play. Tipped by Barlow. Andrews still fighting. Donaldson with a spike. And it drops. Taya Owl misread the play. And looks like Riley McDonald will check in for Addison D'Artes on the front row. As the Lady Wildcats back to the top of their rotation. Carly Clark at the service line. This will check in as Carpenter checks out. Robbinsville hanging out at set point. Andrews needs a miracle to pull it off here in set one. Received by Broom, set by Lewis, tipped by Barlow. And that's going to be it, fans, for set number one. It's a 12-25 victory for the Robbinsville Lady Knights. We'll be back in 3 here on the GramStar Sports Network. Back with you from Robbins and Montana Buchanan with you. Privileged to be bringing you tonight's telecast of Lady Knights Athletics. Set one is over with and done. It's in the rearview mirror, and it was a 12-25 win for the home team. And now we're going to move on to set two between the Lady Knights and the Andrews Lady Wildcats. Kinsley Phillips, who has surpassed 1,000 career digs, has a huge accomplishment, win, lose, or draw. Very proud of that young lady. Spectacular person, part of a spectacular family. Well deserved. And how about giving Kinsley Grace an ace here in set number two? And that's how we'll begin things for our second segment of the evening on GramStarSports.com. Received by, I believe it was Allie Gibson on that, excuse me. Another ace, back to back. Kinsley Phillips serving him up hot here in set two. Another nice shot. Allie Gibson greets it. Kinley Queen set. And Donaldson causes a little bit of a scramble on the other side of the net, but Delaney Brooms will get it returned. And Andrews are going to respond. So it's a good push by Queen back over. Waddy greets it. Set by Lewis. Spike by Brooms. Touched by the Wildcats. Now they're giving a point to Andrews. Oh, my. So it's 2-1 instead of 3-0. And Carly Clark will tee it up. Lewis pass returned by Brooms. Clark greets it. Queen with a floatsville here in set number two. Appreciate all of you great fans tuning in with us here on the GramStar Sports Network, whether you're a Lady Knight or a Lady Wildcat. And looks like a rotation error will be costly. Somebody shifted when they shouldn't have, and it's about the equivalent of offsides in volleyball. Here comes Brooms. Big spike. Donaldson handles it, though. Nicely done. And there's a return that even Robbinsville can't get a hold of. And we're all knotted up at 3 apiece. It is the first time tonight this match has been tied. And the shot goes over the net. And the Lady Wildcats are leading Robbinsville 4-3 here in set 2. Shot over. Here comes Lewis. That's for Brooms on the tip. Lewis doing a fine job filling in tonight at setter. But of course, setter is such a vital position. You have to really be in tune with your players. Work out with them all season long, and those. Kinley Queen will continue to serve for the Wildcats. That's going to be an ace for Kinley Queen, the junior setter for the Wildcats. Join us, fans, around 7 p.m. tomorrow night for varsity football action here on GramStarSports.com. Robbinsville will host Cherokee in the Black Knights' first home conference game of the season. And believe it or not, it'll be the only one of 2 that they're going to have. They're actually going to spend more time on the road this year. We have, of course, 6 teams in the conference now instead of 7. Bit ado to Rosman during the realignment. Rosman had been a part of the conference since 1993. And now it just drops between Allie Gibson and Beth Shook. Neither one spoke, so neither one broke. And it's 7-5 for Taya Owl. Hard shot over. And Shook slides in for the save. Donaldson keeps it alive. Brooms can't get to that. That one kind of came off of Wachacha's fingertips, a little bit odd. And once it did, that backspin was hard to handle. 8-5. Andrews still in the lead here in set 2. Donaldson with a good serve, but it's going to be a little too hard. It'll fly out. 8-6 for Delaney Brooms. Here in set 2. Remember, all of you great Black Knight fans, or hey, if you're a Wildcat, you can also buy a Graham Star. We sell them in Andrews. Check out the latest news from and around Graham County, North Carolina. We've got news. We've got community announcements. We've got sports. We've got it all in the Graham Star each and every week. Pick up a copy. Available on newsstands every Wednesday afternoon. Hard spike by Brooms goes into the net. And it is now 9-7 here in set 2. There is Riley McDonald going back to the line. She's a senior, 5'9" middle hitter. Another phenomenal athlete for the Wildcats. And the return attempt is going to fall short. 10-7, and Katie Phillips wants to know why. She's going to grill her team as we step aside here on GramStarSports.com. And we're back live from Robbinsville High School. It's set 2 of tonight's divisional matchup between the Lady Knights and the visitors from just across the county line in Andrews. the Lady Wildcats. And if you're tuning in now and are a Wildcat fan, welcome. Your team's in the lead. It's 10-7 here in set 2. Thursday night matchup coming your way here on GramStarSports.com. Hard spike by Kinsley Phillips, but the Wildcats will generate a nice response. Here's a set by Owl. Wachacha finds the floor. My goodness, what a save by Kylie Donaldson. Laid out with a split to keep the ball alive. Donaldson again, but that time it spins out of bounds. Good effort on the back line. And a substitution for Addison Dartez to take over on back row defense. Dartez, Donaldson, and Kinley Queen make up the back row at the moment. And Wachacha back at the service line. She'll have to wait a moment, though. Kinley Queen discussing things over with the official here on the ladder. While we have a moment, we want to thank our season-long sponsor, that is Blevins Insurance, located at 480 Rodney Orr Bypass in Robbinsville. Give them a call for all of your insurance needs. Other sponsors this season, Lovin' Equipment and Sales and Coy Adams Timber Company. Thank them for supporting our efforts and in turn supporting Black Knights Athletics. If you are interested in sponsoring what we're doing here on GramStarSports.com, give us a call at the Gram Star, 828-479-3383. We have weekly and monthly sponsorship packages available right now. Of course, a portion of the proceeds from all sales this season of our streams will go back to the respective sports. So volleyball, football, basketball, wrestling. Hit by Carpenter, threw everybody off. Donaldson dove about 50 feet, but couldn't get under it. And we're all knotted up at 11 here in set number 2. Andrews has held the lead since early in the set, broke away from a 3-3 tie to pull ahead. And it's just now knotted back up again. And how about a serve from the newcomer to varsity? Olivia Lewis gets an ace on her first varsity serve of her career. That'll do. That'll put Andrews back in the rearview mirror. Robbinsville leads 12-11. Return, sliding save by Dartez. Here's Carly Clark in the middle, but it's going to be returns, pass, shot. Phillips gets it down. There's another good sliding save by Donaldson. That's Shook on the front row, gets it over. And the Lady Knights get entangled at the net. And it's 12-12. Very competitive matchup in set 2. Obviously another team wanting to relinquish. Robbinsville 12-6 overall this year. Then we'll make mention of a quick update about schedules. Robbinsville may have nothing but home conference matches left. They've got one more away to take care of. They got to go to Franklin on Monday. However, that will be just middle school and varsity. The JVs will not be allowed to participate as the conference tournament starts next Saturday, and JVs can only play so much in a week. Spike over by Carly Clark, but Brooms with a shot, and it's out. And neither team giving an edge right now. Robbinsville pulled back ahead, then so did Andrews. And then Robbinsville, and now Andrews is 13-13 here in set 2. Short serve by Carly Clark. Al with a good push that goes out. 14-13, advantage Wildcats. And a hard kill by Riley McDonald. Wildcats have built a 2-point advantage here in set 2. Served by Clark. Quick save from the back row by Kinsley Phillips to keep it going. Lewis to Owl to Brooms. Ball drops. 15-14 is your score here in set number 2 on GrandmaStarSports.com. Set by Lewis. Here's Machacha in the middle. And she'll clear the outstretched arm of Beth Shook. Robbinsville with a quick dash has tied it once again, 15-all. And the freshman sensation, Surrey Waddy, who played exactly one match on JV this year. And that was all Katie Phillips wanted to see. She knew she'd be a crucial player on varsity. More than filled that ever important defensive role of libero. 16-15 is the score at the moment. Spike and a decisive one by Riley McDonald. 16-16. Neither team can pull away here in set 2. Biggest advantage, though, has been for Andrews. They were up by 4 at one point here in set 1. And Robbinsville having to crank up the tempo to keep pace with the Wildcats. And that's going to be a double tap called on Robbinsville, 17-16. Return, mad scramble. Waddy greets it, nice and done. Brooms is blocked, quickly saved though by Wachacha. Both teams battling, and that one is out. 17-17 here in set number 2. And serving will be Taya Owl. Line drive serve. There's a reason she's got that many aces this season. Owl packs a powerful punch. 18-17 though. Off the serve. Owl could not get there for the defensive save. And that will be Kylie Donaldson, the sophomore for Andrews. Big spike by Brooms, ties it up at 18 apiece. Donaldson was a freshman last year when she qualified for the state track meet for Andrews. Tremendous athlete. And a lot of good things to come for that young lady from across the county line. Owl to Kinsley Phillips with a hard spike. Donaldson lays out for the split and saves it. Pass. Phillips again, she'll tip it this time. Shook, saves it, it trickles over. Phillips sends it out. My word, what a sequence. And the Wildcats prevail, 19-18 Andrews. Another good serve by Riley McDonald. Kinsley Phillips with a good shot over, and that makes it 19-19. Carpenter to Queen. Barlow tip. Wildcats just couldn't move quick enough for that fast series. And a big hole was left on the front right side as a result. Claire Barlow gladly dropped the ball over there. And now it's 2019 Robbinsville. Clark on the return. Phillips Greasy with a push, pass, and a tip by Phillips off the palm of her hand. And a set behind Carpenter. And Americans LaQuire couldn't get a handle on it. Teen is Robbinsville trying to get out of this one live. And a timeout call by Shanna Mustin. We'll pause with them here on GramStarSports.com. Robbinsville 21, Andrews 19 here in set 2 from Graham County. Aubrey Wachacha, the junior middle hitter, will serve it up for Robbinsville. Returned by Carly Clark. Set by Owl, tipped by Barlow. And it's in according to the line judge. Boy, that one was close. Wildcats let it go thinking it was out, and it was a hair away from doing just that. However, Robbinsville now pulls back ahead. 3 to go to the finish line here in set 2. Low serve. Phillips with a big spike. And that will take care of business. 23-19. Galleon effort as Andrews led just a moment ago, 19-18. And that would be our friends from Robbinsville, of course, going on what is now a 5-0 run to pull back ahead. And it looks like we had some discussion with the umpires. And another timeout is going to be called by Shanna Mustin. And we'll step aside again. 23-19, Robbinsville. Basketball season, we'll be here this late and then some. 9 o'clock. I know. Back live from Robbinsville, 23-19 is your score. Battle at the net between Barlow and Carly Clark. And another big spike by Kinsley Phillips. And Robbinsville has went from trailing 19-18 to being on set point. A 6-0 run down the stretch here in the closing moments of segment number 2. And Artez mistakenly measured that ball, and that's going to be it for the Wildcats here in set 2. Set 3 about to begin tonight here in Robbinsville. It's a 2-0 Lady Knights lead here on the Graham Star Sports Network. Kevin Hensley and Montana Buchanan with you for tonight's telecast of Robbinsville Varsity Athletics. Appreciate all of you great fans staying tuned in with us all season long. I've hyped up this enhanced production for 2 months and have came so close so many times getting it rolled out. And, of course, the technical difficulty gods say, we got to wait another night. Robbinsville leads the match 2-0 after picking up victories 12-25 and 19-25. And it looks like Andrews will get the serve. Of course, they served to begin the match as well, as Lady Knights are looking for a sweep here in divisional action tonight. Next Tuesday will be Pink Night against the Hayesville Lady Jackets. The entire gym will be transformed into a pink paradise to help support breast cancer awareness, and proceeds from Tuesday night's event do go back to local cancer support here in Graham County As always, a packed, festive place to be here in Robbinsville during Pink Night. And, of course, next Thursday will be the season finale here at home for Robbinsville against the Swain County Lady Devils. Swain, of course, is hosting the conference tournament this year, however. And then the playoffs will begin the week after that. Carly Clark will get to serve for Andrews, who's up 2-0. Wildcats put up a fight here tonight. First match, not so much. Second match, Andrews almost pulled out the victory. They were up 19-18 before Robbinsville went on a 7-0 run to close it out. Returned by Kinsley Grace. Immediate save by Andrews. Take two for Kinsley Phillips, and that time it's going to work. And Kylie Donaldson had a slight collision with the floor, and she refuses to get checked out. Might have bumped her nose on the floor. She's a little teary-eyed. Telling the officials she's okay. I guess a feeling back in her jaw. Great kid, tough kid. And onward we go here in set 3. Tie 2-2 now. Kinsley Phillips back to serve again for Robbinsville. We hope all of you great fans here on Grand Star Sports are enjoying this new setup. We're quite frankly tired of the video quality on our website as much as you were, and we worked with our web host to rectify that, sadly to no avail. So we're trying this alternative way of getting you your stream, and hopefully, of course, you do not share the link with anyone. We are trying to work on the honor system here. If you are caught sharing the link, you will be 3-3 here in set 3. Received nicely by Allie Gibson on the back row. There's a return by Kylie Donaldson, immediately blocked. And blocked again. Brooms and Wachacha put up a wall that Andrews can't penetrate. Advantage Lady Knights. It's 4-3. Return made. Shot by Wachacha. It's in. Big kill for the junior middle hitter. 5-3 Robbinsville. And another big block. This time, though, it goes under the net. Point goes to the Wildcats. And Summer Garrett checks in, senior outside hitter, giving Kylie Donaldson a chance to go catch a breather. She's obviously still a little bit banged up from that collision with the floor earlier. Hope she's all right. And Garrett with a nice serve off the bench. Return by Owl goes out. Good attempt on the front lines by Taya Owl, trying to fill that gap over at right side hitter. Been an interesting season for Robbinsville volleyball. Lady Knights have fared very well in 1A play, but in non-conference action has really struggled. Had a couple of players injured throughout the season. Roster numbers are down this year as well. Katie Phillips at most has 1 to 2 players to tinker with each game. Carly Clark's all kinds of fired up over on the sideline, on the bench for Andrews. Riley McDonald's effort there, of course, giving it back to the Wildcats. It's 7-5. Here's Queen, and it's blocked. Pass set by Queen, returned by LaQuire, but she hits it a mile high and it won't find the court. Taya Owl will now serve again for Robbinsville. And an ace for Taya Owl. As Donaldson laid out for that one, but couldn't get under it in time. That was a hard line drive shot. And another collision. Girls on the floor are not talking right now. And we've got an injured player, I believe. That's Allie Gibson, number 16. Took a hard shot on that collision with Kinley Queen. And while they're checking on her, we're going to step aside here on GramstarSports.com. Fans, a quick update. We're back with you from Robbinsville High School. It's a sketchy situation on the floor right now. I don't know how else to put it. We've got a young lady injured, the libero for Andrews. That's Allie Gibson, number 16. She's a sophomore, and she's pretty banged up, so we're going to have to call an ambulance for her. And the teams are gathering over in the corner around the visitor locker room to pray for her, so that's a very moving moment here tonight in Robbinsville, but we're obviously all concerned for Miss Gibson. She is pretty banged up, had a collision on the floor during that last play with Kinley Queen, I believe it was. And Kinley, of course, also a phenomenal young lady, a junior for Andrews. They just made inadvertent contact. Nobody really at fault. And I believe Miss Gibson may have suffered some sort of a rib injury is what the early indication is. And we're not on the floor, so we can only speculate, of course, from up here. But the way she was favoring it, of course, the action continued for a moment. She stayed down, tried to get up, and just collapsed in pain. And here we are, back around the service line. And we're not going to show this, of course. There's no reason to acknowledge this, much less try and make a spectacle out of it, because a player is hurt, and her health is way more important than anything we'll ever put on your television screen. 7 here in set number 3. Robbinsville leads the match 2-0, and we'll be back as soon as we can, but we're not going to rush it, of course. And prayers for Miss Gibson from all of us here at GramstarSports.com. Back with you live, fans, from Robbinsville High School. It is 7-7 here in set 3, but more importantly, the bigger news right now is we're all praying for a young lady from Andrews, Allie Gibson, the libero for the Wildcats, injured. And you don't see it too often in volleyball, but it still rattles you nonetheless. And it was very special for me, of course. I'm going to be selfish for a moment, but it really warmed me to see both teams unite in a prayer circle for her while she was getting attended to by our athletic trainer here at the school, Ann Smallwood, and, of course, the Andrews coaching staff. Allie's mom and dad down on the floor with her as well. And it looks like the match is just about to resume. Addison Dartez had to go to the locker room, however, to don the libero uniform. You start the match with one. Unfortunately, I believe you got to keep it. And Addison Dartez came out. And technically, she does have on a different uniform, but it's a JV uniform. Because Allie Gibson's in no shape, of course, to exchange it. So Gibson, of course, will be taken to a medical facility, not sure where, but nonetheless going to get some medical attention. She was able to finally stand up on her feet, but she had to be carried off the floor. She couldn't walk. Now we're just waiting on Andrews to get the huddle broke, chatting things over with a new game plan. Come back out with some smiles on their faces, so that's good to see. And hopefully we can get this match resumed. The action's been hot and heavy here after set 1, after Robbinsville won it 12-25. You're now watching a tight bout, of course. 19-25 was set 2. Andrews led the match 19-18, or excuse me, the set in set 2. And Robbinsville went on a 7-0 run to pick up the win there. And now we're knotted up at 7 each here in set 3. So it's a sport, like I said, you don't see injuries too often in volleyball, since it's not really a contact sport. But on that one, unfortunately, some contact was made. And I believe everybody's going to push forward. Of course, Gibson in front of all their minds. And a big play there by Beth Shook on the left side. And we're back live from Robbinsville High School. It's 8-7 Andrews as the seesaw match continues. Thank you for sticking it out with us, fans. It's been a long night, to say the very least, a very unusual night. We had a long middle school match tonight. Big kill by Delaney Brooms gets the point back for Robbinsville. It's 8-8. And Brooms go back to the service line. Early in the JV matchup, we had an unplanned fire drill. Can only speculate what happened, but, well, there wasn't a fire, so you do the math. But instead, we had to evacuate the building early in the JV match for about 15, 20 minutes. Return by Dartez. There's Brooms on the reception. Owl sets. Here comes Kinsley Phillips. And a hard spike. And that's all Andrews can do with it. It flies out of bounds despite some contact. It's 10-8 here in set 3. Brooms to serve again. Brooms tied with Owl coming into tonight's match for Robbinsville's team lead on aces. And Andrews couldn't get it over the net that time. It's going to be 11-8. Clark on the return, blocked by Wachacha, but the ball is still alive. Good quick scramble by both teams, and Wachacha sends it out that time. Point Wildcats. It's 11-9. And there's Americus LaQuire on the serve. Here's Kinsley Phillips with a hard spike that goes out. And LaQuire serves it up again. Here's Taya Owl back to Liz Carpenter. Smack over by Clark. Waddy passing to Owl. Passes to Phillips. Nobody moves in time. Can't have a hesitation at this point in the match. Point Robbinsville is 12-10. We're in set 3. Good to have you with us wherever you may be here on GramStarSports.com. One more plug for the rest of our schedule for the next week or so. We've got 4 more telecasts in the next 7 days. We'll have football here on Gramstar Sports tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. We'll have volleyball next Tuesday, and times for that are always fluid as it takes a while sometimes for middle school and JV to play out, as we've seen here tonight. Tuesday will be Pink Night. And next Friday will be the big one, Robbinsville Murphy in football action here in Graham County. That's the Black Knights senior night. Of course, Robbinsville will play its last 2 games of the season on the road at Andrews. That's going to be a whopper. Of course, the Wildcats ownership since the 1960s. They are hungry and they are very, very good. Not lost a game this year. In fact, went to Mitchell earlier this season, who made it to the state finals last season and still has that Ty Turbyfield kid who's a pretty good athlete. No, he's phenomenal. Great player. But Andrews went to Mitchell and beat him by 3 scores. They are taking it to everybody. And Robbinsville, no doubt, will be ready to put an end to their winning ways this season when the Black Knights and the Wildcats tango at Hugh Hamilton Stadium in a couple of weeks. Regular season will end with a trip to Clay County to face Hayesville. And, of course, playoffs begin after that. By the time we get to that point, though, we'll be deep in the volleyball playoffs. As a matter of fact, the state championship will be right around the corner. And we sure hope to be bringing you Lady Knights action well into November. I believe the state championship matches will be held November 5th. Always take place out in the Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill area of the state. The only ones we won't be able to tell us, unfortunately, are the state championships. But if we get that far, I'm sure our friends in Asheville at WLOS will have it. Set 3 is still in a we're back to a deadlock again. It's 14-14 here in set number 3. Clark scooches one over the net. And it is 15-14 Andrews. As unpredictable as this night has been, we may have some extra sets. Who knows? Andrews is making it interesting here tonight. Almost on the cusp of that after that second set, but Robbinsville with a 7-0 push late made sure that they got one away from the W. And the tip that time by Claire Barlow will give it back to Robbinsville. 15-15 for senior Kinsley Phillips. Hard shot over. Phillips with the shot returned resoundingly by Riley McDonald, but unfortunately it goes out. And I believe it went into the back hallway. And they have spare balls on the scorer's table. Oh, goodness, they've sent Helen Ward out to look for the spare ball. We'll never see it again. Tip over the net. Drops out. Point. Lady Knights is 17-15. Oh, the ball wasn't missing for long. They have found it again. Sevy Phillips will get an ace. Timeout called by Andrews. Shannon Mustin wants to chat things over with her Wildcats. 18-15 Robbinsville here in set 3. (18-15) goes to 19-15 as we're back with you live from Robbinsville High School. Kinsley Phillips continues to serve as the Lady Knights are trying to pull away with the W here in set 3. They lead the match 2-0 here tonight. Here's Delaney Bruce with a push. Hard shot blocked. Big time by Claire Barlow. I was told I had to say this 5 times during the telecast, and this is going to be my first time mentioning it. Sorry, Claire. The conference leader in blocks, sophomore Claire Barlow. She came into tonight's match with 39 this season. Has one of the big roles that Robbinsville was worried about filling, as, of course, they had to pull some JV players to begin the season. Of course, the players ready to move up anyhow, but lost 6 seniors off last year's team. Very talented group of ladies. And one of the big questions was, what are we going to do up front? As Jacob Jimenez was the last year for Robbinsville challenge and have really turned it up. 22-16 Robbinsville here in set number 3. We went from a 15-15 tie to Robbinsville being 3 away from the victory. Back in just a moment. (22-16) as we're back with you. Phillips can't get there. McDonald gets the kill. And Andrews is not going to go quietly into the night. It's 22-17 here in set 3. So for Andrews, and she's going to confidently walk up to the service line and send one over the net. Here's Wachacha. Saved on the back row by Kinley Queen, but LaQuire with an errant push. 23-17 here in set 3. And they've got a dangerous person at the line for Robbinsville to close it out. That is Taya Owl. D'Artes scrambled to save it as the shook. Spirited effort by the Wildcats. But it's not going to be enough, and it is set point. And match point, for that matter, for Robbinsville. And Andrews scrambling. D'Artes saves it. Nicely done. Owl plays on the back right corner. Pass from Carpenter to Brooms. Tip. And that is your ball game. Final set scores tonight, 12-25, 19-25, and 17-25. All Robbinsville, but some very competitive action tonight. Shout out to Andrews. Much improved along the season. We'll be back tomorrow night, fans, at 7 o'clock. Make sure you get your pay-per-view pass now for varsity football action against Cherokee. At halftime, we'll have the Hall of Fame festivities. For Montana Buchanan, I'm Kevin Hensley. Have a good evening, everybody.